Hi, it's John Terry, the Black Belt Leader, and welcome to this Black Belt Leadership Master Your Life podcast. In this particular episode, I want to ask the question, what's your why? Now, early 2017, I came across one of those must-read books that anyone in a leadership position needs to take the time to read, and that was Simon Sinek's book, Start with Why: How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action. This incredible book for me prompted a moment of reflection to stop and to really think into what my why is, what my passion and my calling is, and understanding what it is that I do and why I do it. And as I begin to look into that and begin to delve deeper into Simon's book, Start with Why, I begin to understand that starting with why is really one of the integral, significant places that good leaders start. Because when you, as a leader, can get very clear on your why, what it is that you've been put on this earth to do and why you've been put on this earth to do it, and you're very clear in your own mind, it makes it very easy to articulate your why to others. And when you can share a concise and clear why that people can embrace and people can say, I can get behind that, all of a sudden you now find yourself not just leading yourself on the journey, but leading others with you to have an opportunity to accomplish amazing things. You know, in thinking back to early on in my martial arts career when I was opening my very first martial arts school, this was my why: to use the medium of the martial arts to influence children to become men and women of character, to become black belt leaders in life. Now, it's interesting that as I began to embrace that, and my business partner Kyle began to embrace that in our lives, and we focused on our why: to use martial arts as a medium to influence the children that were in our school to become men and women of character, to be values oriented, servant focused, and to recognize and acknowledge the fact that everyone is valuable. And as a result of everyone being valuable, we should learn to add value to people. Our goal was to embrace those core character qualities of the martial arts and live them out in such a way that we truly became black belt leaders in life. And interestingly enough, as we begin to get very, very clear on our why began to determine what we did as a school. Our curriculum, our style of teaching, everything we did all tied back to our why, because our why became our overwhelming reason, our passion for what it is that we did every single day that we opened the doors of our dojo. And here's what else we found was that because our why influenced our what then influenced how we did our what, so that the what that we did ultimately tied back to the why. The how we did literally became the mechanism by which we would accomplish our why through the what that we did in the way that we taught our classes. And what we discovered was as we got very clear on our why began to dictate what it was that we would do to see our why come to fruition. And our why dictated how we would do what it is that we were doing so that our why would be fulfilled, achieved, and accomplished. It became this circular pattern that allowed us to really reframe what we did so that we had an opportunity to create this amazing place for our kids to grow and see success. And boy, did it happen. As a result of getting very clear on our why, understanding our what and how we wanted to implement our what did we see? We saw in our school an incredible group of very talented students who not only won a lot of competitions, they were honor roll students in school. And not only were they honor roll students in school, they began to volunteer time in their local communities to make a difference in the lives of others. They began to mow grass and to rake leaves for neighbors that couldn't do things. They began to volunteer with nonprofit organizations that were making a difference in our community. And as a result of that, they began to model before their classmates an example of servant leadership, values-based, servant-focused leadership, to be very, very specific, that enabled the individuals that they were influencing to see how it was very easy to live out the character traits of discipline, respect, honor, self-sacrifice, and excellence as these kids, as young as 4 and 5 years of age, begin to live their lives as black belt leaders in life. Now, this very same passion carried on into my leadership journey and into my coaching and consulting business, Black Belt Leadership, and really defined my why in a little more narrow focus. My why in Black Belt Leadership: to help people discover, develop, and deploy the Black Belt leader that is within each and every one of us, and to pursue Black Belt excellence as a way of life. You see, one of the things I learned in the martial arts is that being a black belt is not just learning to punch and kick and do the forms and compete in competitions and earn the belts. Being a black belt leader in life was learning to master your life and to master the skills and abilities that you had been endowed with by your creator to go and make a difference in the world. Now, in 2017, I had the opportunity to travel to the nation of Cameroon to participate in a leadership conference where I was the keynote speaker over an 8-day journey across that incredible country. And here's what I found. I found amazing potential in an underdeveloped nation. The entrepreneurial spirit that exists in the lives of the people that call Cameroon home is breathtaking. Children as young as 7, 8, 9 years of age, out selling on the streets to earn a living to help feed their family. Everyone there was focused on doing what was necessary, not just for survival, but trying to find their way to create opportunity to live a more successful life in who they are and what they do. And as a result of that, it was amazing to see how that these young lives, having been taught to understand their why, and to think into the what and the how behind it, when they got a little bit older, they began to open and operate their own businesses, whether it was selling fruit or vegetables or bread, to becoming street vendors working on the corner selling their wares, or later on, as they begin to accumulate some capital, opening their own businesses and becoming entrepreneurs in the country of Cameroon. It was amazing because when I would have conversation with them and I would ask them why they were doing what they were doing, they were very, very clear in their answers to me. They knew their why, and their why drove them to take action. Now, in Limbe, when I had an opportunity to travel to that seaboard city, I met a young man there by the name of Caleb. Caleb was an incredible individual who understood his why. He wanted to be a leader that modeled excellence. And Caleb saw an opportunity in this seaside town that was a vacation hub in the country of Cameroon, and he opened a smoothie stand near the beach where people would congregate to enjoy vacation. And as a result of that, he was providing some of the best tasting, healthiest smoothies in town. He made one for me and gave it to me as a gift, and it was incredible to partake and just to see excellence being lived out. Fresh fruit arrived daily, nothing frozen. It was fresh, arriving daily from the local markets. Caleb employed other individuals, teaching them how to lead themselves well and make good choices, and giving them an opportunity to learn to lead in and through his business. He was very diligent in teaching and training them to see the value in themselves, to respect and honor themselves and their customers, and to create an incredible experience that invited those customers to come back and to bring other individuals with them so that they could continue to prosper in this business endeavor. When I had an opportunity to travel to the cities of Yaoundé and Douala and Tembe, there I saw pastors, church leaders, and business owners hungry to learn how to be an effective leader, how to communicate more effectively so that they could make a greater impact in their local communities and change the lives of their culture for the better. They recognized that there was a leadership gap in their nation, and they were passionate about their desire to raise up a new generation of transformational, servant focused leaders who added value to others, and to encourage young men and young women who were being educated to keep their knowledge and their wisdom in the country of Cameroon to change it for the better. They understood their why. And as a result of understanding their why, these individuals, this incredible organization, Bread for Life, is making an amazing difference in the country of Cameroon. Now, here's what I've learned over my years of teaching and coaching and training. When your what and your how align with your why, you can live a life of significance. You can live an amazing life and succeed in areas you never thought were possible. Because when you get very clear on your why, that passion begins to drive you. And when that passion begins to drive you, now everything you do is focused on bringing that why to life, taking it from a thought in your head and a goal or a dream to being lived out in reality every single day of your life. And when you pursue your why, you begin to experience a life of significance like you've never experienced before. And as a result of that, you now begin to discover something amazing about yourself. Your why begins to drive everything you do. So let me ask you a question. What is your why? Do you know what it is that you've been put on this earth to do? Have you taken the time to look within and discover the black belt leader within you, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be developed, and waiting to be deployed? When you understand your why, all of a sudden you find that passionate cause that gets you up every morning, that motivates you to jump out of the bed and start your day to go make a difference, pursuing your why, pursuing your passion, your cause, whatever it is that you've been put on this earth to do. So, why do you do what you do? Have you thought about that? Why is it every day that you do the things you do? When you understand the why behind it, all of a sudden what you do takes on a new and more meaningful significance in your life. Let me ask you another question. Does your what and your how align with your why? Are the things that you're doing and the way that you are doing them align in such a way that they are going to allow your why to come to its full fruition? Are the things that you are doing daily and the way that you're doing those things, growing, maturing, and becoming a better version of yourself, equipping those around you to also pursue with passion your why, are the things you're doing and the way you're doing it, moving everyone forward to accomplish your why? The reason I asked that question is a quote that one of my mentors, Mark Cole, shared with me a while back from John Cotter. And this quote is very powerful. And here's what it is. Most people don't live their lives. They accept their lives. One of the ways I like to describe this is far too many people today are content to live a lackluster, mediocre, status quo existence, simply going through life, but not really living life. Understanding that there's a black belt leader within them, but never discovering, never developing, and never deploying that to make a difference. You know, as president of the United States Martial Arts Hall of Fame, I have the distinct privilege and honor to work with an amazing group of incredibly talented martial artists from around the world. Now, my message to them is very clear. I've asked them and I challenge them daily to rethink what it is that they're doing and to consider the fact that if they're only training young men and young women to become black belts in their martial art, karate, taekwondo, kung fu, whatever it is that they teach, if they're only teaching them that one narrow skill set, are they truly teaching them to be black belt leaders in life? Or is there more that the martial arts community could be doing to make a difference? That's what I'm very passionate about, and that's one of the things I'm committed to do is to helping the martial arts industry rethink what we do as martial artists, as school owners and instructors, to not only teach our kids self-defense, to get physically fit, and to learn all the character qualities and attributes of what it means to be a martial artist, but to also help the students in our school discover their why, what it is that they are passionate about, to help them fully develop their gifts, their talents, and their abilities to go make a difference where they are. Because if we can teach our students to be black belt leaders in life, when they grow up and they leave high school and they go off to college, they become model students in school. When they meet that significant other and they get married, they become black belt leaders in their home. And when they have children, they become black belt leaders to their children. When they go to work in the marketplace, they become black belt leaders in the workplace. And as a result of that, they set the standard for others to follow. And whether they're leading from behind or leading from the middle or leading from the front, they are leading and influencing people to consider who they are, what they do, and what they've been put on this earth to do. That very same passion drives my coaching business, Black Belt Leadership. I want to help individuals learn to master their lives, to master their relationships, their money, their emotions, their sales and marketing, their teamwork, whatever it is they've been called to do on this earth. Learning to master your life is step number one to living a life of excellence. Discovering, developing, deploying your black belt leader within allows you to focus on honing your skills, your talents, and your abilities to make a difference. Whether you're going to be a plumber or an architect or an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, whatever it is that you've been called to do, my goal as a coach with Black Belt Leadership is to give you the tools, the resources, and the training so that you can truly master your life. What am I doing as a coach and a trainer? I'm helping you discover your why, to find it, to embrace it, and to cultivate it so that you can fully live it out. And once I've helped you discover your why, then we can work together to figure out the what and the how to make your why become a reality in your life. Now, think about the volunteer groups that you serve and the other opportunities that you have to make a difference in the world. If you can discover the black belt leader within and develop it and deploy it to go make a difference at a time that needs a difference to be made, when there is a leadership gap, not only here in the United States, but around the world, you have an opportunity to not only make a difference, but to be successful and to live a life of significance in the process. That's one of the reasons I put this podcast out every single week. It's one of the reasons every week I write a leadership blog. It's one of the reasons that daily I'm sharing tips and insights to help you on your own leadership journey, to continue to cultivate your why, to rethink the what and the how so that you're bringing your why to its full and complete fruition so that you're making a difference at a time a difference needs to be made. So as I wrap this episode up, let's go back to a couple of questions I posed earlier. What is your why? Why is it that you do what you do? I want to challenge you to really think in to those two questions. Why you do what you do, and what's your why? As you think into those two things, understand this, that significance awaits those of you who can answer that question. Align your what and your how with your why and begin to live it out daily. This is how we live a life of black belt excellence. And we model the type of leadership that others can embrace and adopt as their own. There is power in discovering your why and having an opportunity to live it out every single day so that others see it as their own. And when you're living a life of black belt excellence in such a way that attracts others to you, allowing you to influence their thoughts, their behaviors, and their actions, you change their lives for the better. And one person at a time, you begin to not only change your world, but you begin to change the world around you. And that's what leadership is all about. And it starts with why. Hey, John Terry, the Black Belt Leader, thanks for joining me for this podcast episode of Master Your Life. If we haven't connected on social media, let me encourage you to visit my website via blackbeltleader.com. Go to the contact page, and there you'll find all of our social media connections. We'd love an opportunity for you to follow us there. We're sharing insights, tips, tools, and resources. They're going to help you on your own personal growth journey or help you better equip those that you are leading to become black belt leaders in life. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.